You're not lazy. I know it feels like you are. You sit down to do the thing and nothing comes. No focus, no flow. And the story kicks in straight away. What is wrong with me? Why can't I just get it together? And why is this so hard? But what if it was never about your willpower or discipline at all? What if the reason you can't settle or can't think or can't get going has nothing to do with you and everything to do with the room and the environment you're sitting in? Because that's exactly what happened to me. For weeks, I thought something was wrong with me until one small change showed me it was never me at all. And it comes down to something your body is doing every second of the day, completely under the radar, and it's called neuroception. So we're on N of the A to Z of somatic healing. So stay with me to the end because we'll do a little practice together so you can feel this one for yourself. So hi, if you've not met me before, my name is Mercedes. I'm a yoga teacher, somatic and polyvagal informed practitioner, and this is the work I do every day with others and with myself. And I still didn't catch it this time in my own life until it smacked me in the face. So by the end of this video, you'll understand what neuroception is and why your body reacts to a space before your mind has caught up. Why it might be running louder in you than in other people, and you'll have a simple practice to start working with. And we're just going to go through quickly the path. So I'm going to tell you what actually happened to me. I'll give you my story for what it's worth. Then I'll explain a little bit about what neuroception's worth and why it's running the show without you knowing, why yours is turned up so high, and then we'll do a short practice together at the end so you can start to feel what neuroception actually is. So this is where it came from for me. So I have been having my house decorated and I've been having a builder in and around the house for, it feels like forever. It's probably about 6 or 7 weeks. It's taking ages. And he has tools everywhere. They are literally in every room of my house, all over the place. And when I work at home, and the reason I'm getting this all decorated is I want to be able to sell and move to a bigger house because I don't have an office. And I'm working in my open plan living space where my son leaves stuff everywhere as well. And having ADHD, tidying up is a challenge in and of itself. So I kind of have to try and work around the clutter. Now, I know very well that clutter is a disruption. It's an open loop in my brain. And because I'm neurodivergent and we all have open loops, but neurodivergent is kind of worse, I'm sitting there and my brain is in the background playing all those open loops, thinking about all the things that I need to do to tidy that room up and to get it sorted and get it in order and all the decorating tasks that still need doing. And all of those things are kind of there. And then I've got the noise of the builder coming in, asking me questions, having his music on, blaring in the background so I can't film a video, and all of this stuff is going on, and I'm trying to work at the same time. And one of the things I was struggling with is I had no creativity. I was thinking, I feel completely blocked. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do it. And I'm getting really frustrated because normally I'm full of ideas and I don't know what's going on. Is it just that I've lost interest in my business? Am I struggling to maintain it? Have I just got no creativity left? And all these things are going through my brain. Anyway, so fast forward to recently, and he is now decorating my open plan space, so I can't be working there. And my bedroom is not big enough to work from and have all the bits that have been moved in there to create space to decorate. And I don't want to work in my bedroom anyway because I struggle with sleep as it is, so I'm not going to be working in there. My mum has empty space in her house where I can work, where it's quiet and I won't be disturbed. And I sat down to work and I was suddenly like, oh my goodness, like it's like somebody turned the vacuum off. You know, when the Hoover's going and there's that background noise, you don't really notice it. And then someone turns it off and you're like, oh my God, thank goodness. It's like that. I feel like that I've come here. It's like I can suddenly breathe and everything has been turned off. And so my lack of creativity and stress around work and finding it hard to concentrate actually wasn't me. It was the environment I was in, the background noise, everything else going on that was taking all of my energy and stopping me from being able to actually focus and work. And that's where we come to what that is actually that's triggering that is called neuroception. So it's the thing that was running the whole time without me realizing, even though I know about this, I didn't kind of like twig it. So this idea of neuroception was actually coined by Stephen Porges in polyvagal theory, but you don't need to know the theory and the complex stuff to be able to feel it. The way it works is that your nervous system is basically scanning your environment all the time. It's constantly doing it, and it's working under the surface for you. So you're not aware that you're scanning, you're just scanning. And what it's scanning for is, am I safe right now? Is it safe to be in this environment? Am I okay? Is everything all right? And if it doesn't feel that, then it will send you messages. But the important thing to know is that this is happening, and these sensations are happening below the level of thought. So we're not thinking these things. We're not thinking, am I safe? We're feeling it at our body level. And so sometimes we don't always get a clear message saying this room isn't safe to settle in. We just get I can't focus, I can't settle, something's off, I feel uncomfortable here. And there's no real explanation. And what happens is our brain tries to pin it down. Now, I have talked about this before, so we've got the two sides of the brain. So the right side of the brain is going to feel the input, right? It's going to feel all these sensations. It's going to have all this stuff going on because it's going to connect to the physical. And the left side of the brain is responsible for the stories. But if the left side of the brain doesn't know, it just makes a story up, which is kind of part of the problem. So it will make a story up. I can't focus. I'm lazy. I don't know. There's something wrong with me. There's something wrong here. And it will find a story. And so when we get this unsettled feeling, sometimes we create stories that aren't accurate. And it's a bit of a trap that we can fall into because the neuroception is silent. It's just giving us sensations. And so our left side of the brain will fill the silence with something like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? What's the problem? It must be about me rather than the environment. Unfortunately, so we're not doing, and what we want the left side of the brain to do more often is to say, oh, my body is clocked that something in this environment is not safe for me to settle. So I just need to figure out what that is. And so once we start to feel those sensations of disruption, of lack of focus, it's a kind of task to tune in and say, well, actually, why is my body sending me this message and what is going on underneath? And for some of us, our neuroception can be turned up, kind of like the dial is racked up, if you will. So ideally, what happens for all of us is neuroception is shaped by everything that you've lived through. So if you grew up with trauma, so maybe your environment was unpredictable or unsafe, your system is more on high alert. And so it scans a bit harder and it flags not safe a bit faster. So you can be objectively fine and still feel not settled, and because you're dialed up a bit higher. And if, like me, you are neurodivergent, so I have ADHD and autism, so just to make life even more simple, and I have childhood trauma as well, and that neurodivergence will turn the volume up even further because we're more our senses are more stimulated by our environment. So the more things going on in the environment, the more likely we are to be disturbed. Because our sensory input, we're taking in more all the time anyway. So clutter will disrupt. So for me, having ADHD and autism, my ADHD really struggles to tidy the clutter up, but ADHD likes a kind of nice, clean environment. So does autism. So I really feel dysregulated when my environment is cluttered and messy, but my ADHD really struggles to actually do the work to tidy it up. So I'm kind of stuck in that kind of loop quite often, which is coming to my mum's. I'm in a really empty, clean space. It's like wonderful. There's nothing here. It's really calming. And so that open planness can start to disrupt the brain a lot more. So if you've always felt like you need things to be just so, to work or to rest, and you've judged yourself maybe for being fussy or high maintenance or too much, just remember it's not really a character flaw. It's that maybe you've got a more sensitive instrument, or you just need it to be that way in order to close the open loops and allow the mind the space to focus. And it's not a malfunction. It's just a system that's adapted brilliantly to keep you safe. So your system has created a way that this is what you need and this is how you need it, and it will send you those messages. And, we can very easily get to criticize that, but actually what we need to do is adapt our environment to suit what we need rather than criticizing ourselves, because that is what we are. That is what we have, is what we need, and that's how we function. And that's okay. So let's get to a practice. And that's what I promised you earlier, so I'm going to get to it. Wherever you are right now, just pause, just stop what you're doing and have your feet flat on the floor. I'm going to take a deep breath together just to arrive. So inhale deeply and slowly exhale through the mouth. And just slowly move your head around your space. So you might want to slowly move to one side and then back to the center and then to the other side. And as you're doing it, let your eyes actually move and land on the things in the space. Okay, so you can just turn around and just slowly move. And notice what's there without judging. Because we're not trying to fix anything, we're just noticing. Okay, sometimes it's just the awareness that we need. So we're just looking all the way to the other side, allowing the eyes to scan the room. And as you're doing that, does anything in your body soften or does it tighten? So just noticing, are you softening or tightening? And you're just listening to what your neuroception is already reporting. So just keep gazing around the room. When you're ready, slowly coming back to the center. And ask yourself the honest question. Is this a space my body can settle in? And if the answer is no, that's not a failing, that's just information. So we're just sensing our space and how does it feel for us? And the bigger practice when this video is over is when you can't focus or settle. Before you start reaching for the what's wrong with me, you can ask yourself, what's my body picking up here? And what could I change? Because sometimes the most healing thing isn't trying harder, it's changing the room. So when you were doing that scanning and you were noticing if you were calm or if you were tensing and bracing, if you noticed there was more tensing and bracing, you can do another scan around your room and look at what elements are causing that. So are there things that you can move, change, tidy? Now, if you do have ADHD like me and tidying becomes like a stressful thing because you think I have to think about where to put this, sometimes I just create mess buckets, if you will, with lids so I can't see what's in there and I just put things in to deal with later till they fill up and I just get another bucket. But that's a whole other story. But you can just put things away. You don't have to tidy it just so it's out of your vision, because sometimes if it's just out of your vision, it's out of your mind and then it's calm. And again, when you're doing that scanning, tune in with your ears as well. So are there noises that you find disruptive and that break you up? Because I can cope with the noises where I live because I live on a busy road and there are lots of noises and there's lots of noises that I can manage. When I add that in with a builder and his music and his work and the mess and all of it, it starts to compound and it becomes too much. And so it's knowing what you can cope with and what you can't and just making those adaptations so that your life is easier and allowing yourself that peace of mind. So just remembering as well that you're not lazy and you're not too much. You maybe just got a finely tuned system that's been reading every space you've ever been in. And the work isn't to silence it, it's to start listening and to build yourself a life with more rooms that you can actually breathe in. So if this has landed for you and it's resonated, remember to hit like and subscribe, because it really helps me to get this work to more people who've been blaming themselves for things that were never their fault. And if you want to go deeper, to actually start building more of this safety into your body and into your days with the somatic practices and the yoga, the nervous system work and everything that I do all in one place, I'd love to have you in my community. It's called the Somatic Yoga Collective and it's just $7 a month to join as at the moment. So join and lock in that price for life. I'll put the link in the description and I'd love to see you on the inside and I'll see you later.